The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. We start out the show taking a look at the German DAX. We've got some really neat charts to show you from our friends across the pond over here that we were doing the seminar for last week, and I think you will enjoy them. As you can see here, we had a small ABCD here after a big up move, stalled so far where it is. But let me show you the ones that are really interesting, that I find interesting anyway. This is the one of the German Bund. And remember, we had a pretty big down move in the notes and bonds yesterday. And if you look at this, you'll see that the German Bund here made a 382 retracement. It's been selling off this morning. Whether it continues to do or not, I don't know. Now, this is where Tom Hugard makes all of his money, is when it breaks that first low down there at 172.25. It rallies up to the 382. Once it breaks below that, he starts pressing like crazy down to where that question mark is. That's what he's done. I was watching him today, and he had a tremendous overnight move in the stock indices, of course, the DAX being one, and also the FTSE had a tremendous move. And let me get this up here so you can take a look. This was due to old Boris Mini Trump Johnson. Mini Trump made a tweet down there a couple days ago, and as you can see here, bada bing, bada boom, we went up. We took out the highs of the last month. We backed off just a little bit, so that's also an ABCD on the way up. So it's a very interesting here looking at that one. But they're reacting over there a little differently. I watched the European politics because it is those guys are really rude. I mean, they at least we have some. Well, not really, but well, all politics is the same, I guess. Okay, that was one, but this is the one I wanted to share with you the most, because this is really interesting what we're doing here. Remember, we were looking at this natural gas, and this is one of the things that we've been focusing on for quite some time. And as you notice here, this is the daily chart down at that 149, 150 level. That's what we're looking at. So what we're watching here is you take a look at that daily chart, and the second thing you want to do is move down to a smaller time frame, like an hourly chart. And if you look at this on an hourly basis, you're going to see something that we see quite a bit, and you'll notice that 3 drive to a bottom pattern. That's just really beautiful symmetry. You just can't ask for anything better. It's also a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 expanding triangle to the downside. And so this tells us that this natural gas contract could still have some stuff. Ruby, I am going to do anything you want, dear, because you are the queen of the little piggies. I'm absolutely the sound of one hand clapping on those pigs, young lady. You did a fabulous job. I'm going to post that up here so the folks can see what those. I just did it. Where did I? Here it is. Just a second. Let's get it up here. Let's hear the sound of one hand clapping for Ruby on these piggies, because they've had one heck of a move. And then as we look at that, we will move down and we will go over to the old gold and silver. Let's start out with the gold. Here's what I did yesterday. Had trouble with my my videos last night. I got them lost. Luckily, John helped me fix them up this morning. I found them, and I'll get those out a little bit later this morning. But I couldn't send the videos. I sent a lot of charts, but no videos. If we take a look here at the gold, this is a 4-hour chart. You can see the head and shoulders pattern. We pointed that out to you. That's very good symmetry too, from the left shoulder to the right shoulder. Also, the left shoulder and the right shoulder are nearly equal. That's one of the key things. If you've got that and you've got that time, it is a head and shoulders pattern. It's one of the patterns that Dr. Andrew Lowe really highlighted in his book, The Non-Random Walk Down Wall Street, that he wrote in 2001. And as you can see here, we're looking at a price objective somewhere around 1470. Today we've been down to 115.06, which was the exact 78% retracement of that move from the 17th into today. We rallied up about $11 since that time, but the odds favor a little bit more to the downside, at least by looking at the gold from where we are right now. So this is going to be there. If we do get there, the 1470. That is going to be, that is the kind you really wait for, because that's going to be the first large ABCD correction in over a year, and those are the kind that Mr. Gartley used to hail about when he wrote his weekly report. He didn't write a newsletter, but he wrote a weekly technical report, which was the state of the art at that time back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Okay, now we'll see here. Let's get moving on here. We're on to something else here. Oh, here's what I wanted to show you. One other thing. This is from a charting deal. I think it's called See the Market is what it's called. But the reason why I want to bring this up is someone asked me a question about it, so I thought I might be able to answer it. So we put this up here. This is this basically, you see the cycles on the bottom, folks? That is traditional James Hurst. That's exactly what he did. Those are nominal cycles. You'll see the big one, and then you got the two little ones, the big one and the two little ones. You notice they only work for like 2 repetitions, and then they start shifting, and that's because they're related to, you know, astrology and not so much these static cycles. These static cycles only work for a couple things. Back in between 1969 and 1972, they lasted for like 3 years. It was so simple. You just bought on an 18-day low, and that was about it. And they went up for another 9 or 10 days. That's how the old cowboy got walked into these big moves. But anyway, that's what we're looking at here. Remember, they only work about 2 repetitions. After that, it's not nearly as much as we're seeing. Now, if we have another pattern that you might have an interest in. I don't know if you do or not, but let's get it up here and take a quick look at it, just to see if it's going to work or not. I don't know, but just like anything else, this is that same thing. You can see the same cycle. This is the 135 pattern, so you can see up here around 3,000 that there's a tiny bit of resistance in there until the next tweet comes out, and we head for 40,950. Okay, now we need to look at a market that has really, really given up the ghost. Let me show you this one here. This is the what do you call Bitcoin, and I want to show you this right now. This came from one of our friends across the pond also, and you can see here that he's looking at this level here. Now, that's really dangerous here where he is, folks, at 83,960, roughly 8,400. I don't know where Bitcoin is trading right now, but that's a very dangerous pattern because of that long bar between 96 and 90 and 8,000. Now, it's held there, but boy, your risk is just below 8,000. Anything below 8,000, you've got to head for the hills because that is below the 78% level. It's completed the ABCD. It's had 2 days to rally. It hasn't done that yet, but we're going to find out if that is going to be the case. We will do this a little bit later when we look at this in the next few days. I don't know where Bitcoin is trading right now. Someone would let me know, are we still trading above 8,400 in the Bitcoin? Does anybody have that information offhand so I would be able to know that? There you go. Thank you very much, S&P. Appreciate it very much. So it's still holding good support. As long as we stay above 82, it's got a chance. That's the bottom line. So we want to watch that very, very closely. Did I post a chart for the hogs? I think I did, didn't I, Ruby? I thought I did. Let me check. Yeah, I did.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, we posted the chart of silver here, and as you can see, this is a 4-hour chart. We couldn't even make it to the 61% retracement up there at 1887 per ounce. We basically went a little above the 50% retracement, then dropped about 80 cents, and we're having a little bit of a bounce so far this morning. But I believe we're still heading down into that gap area that we left, way back on the 25th. Now, if we do get a big ABCD in this, and that goes from 1975 down to 1746, rally up, that's going to take us all the way down to 1665, and that will be a big ABCD on the long term, and that's going to be the first major ABCD correction in a year. You got to be ready for that one, boys and girls, because that's on page 221 on H.M. Gartley's book, Profits in the Stock Market, sold in 1937 for $1,500 an issue, and it was, he sold, I think, 13 of those, as Don Mack told me, and believe me, back then, $1,500 was the cost of 3 Ford automobiles. So he could have bought 45 automobiles with what he sold, and it was cheap at $1,500, in my opinion. It was basically a loose leaf folder. It was not printed in a printed book form. It was a loose leaf 3-ring binder. But that's what we're watching. Now, the next one we ought to take a look at, just to be safe, is to look at the old platinum. We'll get platinum up here so you folks can take a look at it here. And you'll be able to see here that we're right near really good support here. We hit it again this morning here in the platinum down here at 925, but it looks like it's got that ABCD structure that would take us down to around 880. And if you look at it really closely, I put that dark black line in so that you could visualize a 135 pattern at that point. So there you would have a Gartley, and it would really be a 135 on the downside, higher bottoms. There's another one we'd be watching. So if we do get that in the next couple of weeks, and we certainly could, because there's a lot of things going on in the market jumping around that makes it wonder whether you're going to stop or go. But it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Okay, let's move on here. Someone had a question about something here. Mr. David White is talking about Jesse Livermore in there. If you ever get a chance, folks, if you've not read the book, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator by Edwin Lefevre, you are doing yourself a great disservice. It's probably one of the greatest books about the market that you'll ever find. It is it was really Jesse Livermore. It was a pen name, and Edwin Lefevre was the pen name, of course, but I believe what he did was, I believe Livermore probably dictated it to someone that probably followed him around, because he was so busy trading and running his other businesses that it was amazing. And people say, what happened to Livermore, he killed himself, I believe, in 1941 in the Roosevelt Hotel in New York. He left, he was using a 25 caliber Colt pistol, automatic, and he left a note that he basically, life was, trading was no good. I mean, he still had money. He had put $5 million in trust that the family lived off of, but his was really amazing. The problem was, and the guy that knew him really well was Ed Dobson's friend. What was that guy's name? He wrote the book about Livermore. He actually grew up with Livermore. He was a little boy when Livermore was doing his thing. And what was his name? Shut the front door. Anyway, he was murdered over in Switzerland. He got shot in the head, and don't know why, but he was a friend of Ed Dobson. But he said that Livermore had a lot of money that he put away and stuff, and he had to file for bankruptcy for tax reasons, from what they said. But the reason why he killed himself, he was madly in love with a dancer in one of the shows there on Broadway. She was from New Orleans, and she was only like 20 years old, and he was, I think, 55 or 60, I believe, somewhere in that ballpark. And he still had his estate there in Santa Barbara, California. And then, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. You should read that book, though. It's really a fabulous book. Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. Yes, he did. He was a what do they call those guys that are really high octane guys? Not bioptic. What do they call them? Manic, what do you call it? David, you know this. What do they call a manic depressive? The guy's got a bioptic or something like that? Bipolar. Bioptic. Bipolar. Yeah, it's bipolar. I'm tripolar. My tripolar is Taco Bell, McDonald's, and Pizza Hut. Anyway, let's move on to a couple other of these things here. But that covers the metals pretty much. I think we're heading lower in these, but we'll see what's happening. The bonds, I think, are still have the biggest problem of anything, but whether it happens that way or not, I don't know. We will have the Wizard Winsky on here in just a little while, about 4 or 5 more minutes. Well, it's after the break, which will be in about 7 minutes. So we'll be doing that. And I wanted to bring one other thing that I wanted to show you today, because we've got a real interesting pattern that we talked about yesterday. And the reason why this is the crude oil, we went exactly down there, folks. That low was exactly at that blue line, 55.50. That's where it was. That was the buy. We rallied up, quite a bit, way up into that area of 50. We made over $1,000 now. It's given quite a bit of it back, but to take profits at least $900 was certainly the thing to do. If we look at this just a little bit differently, because what we want to do is bring it sort of up to date here, so you can see actually what happened. You'll be able. Richard Smitten, that's it, David. God bless you, David. You should work for Google. Maybe you are Google. Is that your pseudonym? Yeah, it's Richard Smitten. I met Richard several times. I met him once in New York, and then he came out here to Tucson to spend a couple of days with me, and it was a really interesting guy. But he was also bipolar, and it was truly amazing, some of the stuff he had talked about with Jesse Livermore itself. Which that book, I literally, folks, I'm not kidding you, over the past. I haven't read it for a few years, but for the first years that I found the book, which was in the late 60s, I probably read it 50 times over the years. That was it. And when we first started doing this, there was not even available very much. And then, of course, it got reprinted in a paperback and stuff, mainly because of the work of Ed Dobson. But let's take a quick look here at the where we are here in the the crude oil. And the reason why it's important today, folks, we went down to 55.55, okay, and we rallied all the way up to 56.78. That's, well over $1,200, and now we're back down to 5,600. Now, what's interesting about this is that you're setting over this big number right here, and what do we have in an hour from now? We have oil numbers, and those oil numbers are always crazy. So I like not going into a crude situation unless I have a huge profit in something. In this case, is not that. So we'll see if that's going to be the case, but we'll have to wait and see. The natural gas contract flat out looks bullish to me, folks. I don't know what it's doing now. If we get below 247, then something's wrong. But right now, the natural gas as of last night was really set up nice. Can someone tell me where the natural gas is trading now? The November, last time I checked, it was 253 and change. Hey, we got the wizard coming up at the break here. 877-927-6648.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trade along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Well, it's with a great deal of pleasure that I'm going to bring to you folks Mr. Norm Winsky of Astro Trends, Naples, Florida. Norm, are you on the line?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Larry.
Fire away, buddy. You got the mic.
Okay, hopefully everybody can see my notes. We're gonna review what's happened here. It's just before the last full moon on the weekend of the 13th of September, and hopefully you'll learn something. So we have about 10 events I'm going to review since that time. We had the full moon in Pisces. We're in the syzygy season this month, where the moon is lined up with the apogee-perigee cycle. And the first weekend of September there, we had the new moon at perigee, and that turned a lot of markets. Interested to see if the apogee, when it's full moon of apogee, when it's far, if it's as powerful. That's the big question mark. So we'll see if it works as well as the new moon did. And then we also had the moon's north node. That's a point where the moon crosses the ecliptic. It's 180 degrees to Saturn. And we'll see that we're going to be looking at, here's the different markets that are associated with the different events. So for the full moon, we round up the usual suspects. Plus there's usually we're running a special based on the sign that the full moon lands in. So we have financials, grains, precious metals. And because it's in Pisces, then we'll be looking at, we're going to skip the commodity index, CRB, because nobody really trades it, oil and stocks. And then we have the moon's north node in Cancer, 180 degrees of Saturn in Capricorn. And Capricorn has to do with coffee. And the moon's north node in Cancer. The silvery moon has to do with silver. And also the stocks respond to about everything. Then we are going to have the look at Uranus in the sign of Taurus, the bull. It lines up with Pluto in Capricorn, and that's going to be cattle, cocoa, coffee, copper, cotton, hogs, stocks, and T-bonds. And then we have Saturn in Capricorn, turns direct. This is one of my top things when the planets turn to go direct or retrograde. That's called a station point. And when the planets change trend, the markets change trend a high percentage of the time. That's for coffee and stocks. And we have the Jupiter and Saturn lining up with Saturn and Capricorn. That's look for a major change in trend. I had said for coffee, oats, and stocks. And then we have Jupiter in Sagittarius, 90 degrees of Neptune in Pisces. And that's going to be oats, oil, and stocks. You might want to take a screen share of all this. I'll hold it up here so you can click. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. And hopefully that's enough, or you go back and run the tape, the video, and do it again later. And there we go. There's the rest of it. And so that hopefully you had a chance to take a picture. And there we go. And then we had Uranus to the U.S. natal chart, the U.S. Mars, where Mars was when the country was founded on July the 4th, 1776, forming a somewhat moderate stressful angle to the U.S. Mars. And that's we're going to be looking at U.S. stocks, T-bonds, and that's a mistake there. That should be U.S. dollar. And then we have the Mercury at 0 latitude. That's going to be your grains and stocks. Okay, and so there we go. And here I have several special dates just for the stock market based on Fibonacci time cycles and also Gann type mathematics. And so, here market math is, this one here was for 14th of September when we had 66 squared days. That's 4,356 days from the October 11, 2007 high, that sort of thing. And here we have, it's also the day of the full moon at apogee. There we go. So here we have Fibonacci time cycles for 9, 17, and 20. And we have astrological cycles based on major turns in the past for the S&P, and then we have our regular astro cycles for the 16th and the 18th. So here we go. First, I'm going to go in alphabetical order. Here's your cattle. I only had one signal for the cattle during this period of time, and that was right there, and that was a nice little short-term top. Okay, we've had green arrow as a winner. You'll see some red arrows. Believe it or not, I have a miss every now and then, and those are misses. Here we go. Here you get to see a miss now. If it's going up, we want to sell. If it's going down, we want to buy. And there's a red arrow there. That was a date for the cocoa, right around the close of the 17th, open the 18th, and that was a miss. Here we have the coffee. Did pretty well. The coffee here, we're right there on the close of the 17th, open the 18th. Right there, the 18th was the high of the month, and then we went down, and then we We were about a day early on the bottom right there, and then we kind of just went sideways, you know. And eventually we did pop up, so buying over here, if you were patient, you could have made some money. Also, we had a buy there. So you by the end of the, toward the day or so ago, it popped up and put you in the green. Here's copper, had a miss on the copper. I only had one date there. That didn't really do anything. Just went kind of lower, sideways and lower. Here's the corn, had a winner here on the moon. There we go right there. And it made a little short-term top. And we had a miss over there. So we went 50-50 on the corn. Had a miss on the cotton. And I think we missed the top by a day or so. And here we go on the gold, though. The gold was interesting. On the full moon there, we had, you could go either way. You could buy the close of the 13th and make money, and then it popped up, or you could go short on the opening the next day when it gapped up, and that was a kind of a top. So you could make money going either way. Here's the hogs. We had one signal here, and we're right there. Just one day from the high on the hogs, and then they went down. Mm-hmm. Here's your oats. Oats, I follow kind of like you, Larry, following the Bitcoin there. No, I'm not going to trade the oats. They're too thin, but the oats dance nicely, have a good track record of dancing to the planet, so I kind of track them just kind of for fun. Anyway, there we go. We're one day off the high there on the oats, just a couple pennies off the high, and then we went down. Then we pop up. I got a 3 signal a day there for a change in trend there, and it pops right up on that time. So you'd sell there, and you'd make, I think you'd make money, an opportunity to make some money. And then it went down. All right, so here's your silver. Right on the moon there, I had 2 different things pointing to that, or the 13th, the weekend of the 13th, and it kind of made a nice low there, and then we went a little bit higher. Here's your beans. Beans were beautiful, almost perfect. There we go right there, just a few pennies off the high on the beans right there at the top. For the moon. Then we went down. My next big window for the beans were the weekend of the 20th, when we had Mercury is a big deal for the grains. Mercury got to 0 latitude. That's my other top thing. When the planets go direct or retrograde, that's the geo thing, geocentric thing. The heliocentric thing is when the planets hit 0 latitude, and Mercury was doing that, and that's grains. And there we had a nice low there, and then they popped up. Okay, here's the S&P. It has lots of dates because it responds to all this different stuff. So we had a bad date there, and I had lots of signals there. So I got about 6 red arrows there, but I also have lots of green arrows for this cluster here. Made a top there, and then we popped up and made another top there with that cluster. So we got a lot more green arrows than red arrows by about a factor of about 3 to 2 or something like that. It's about 67% or so on those. All right, here you go. Here's your T-bonds. Had a good low there on the moon.
Norm, yes, we had to pay a few bills, buddy. They're playing the music.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be right back with Norm Winski of Astrotrends, folks.
If you're in a CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
If you're a trader in the market looking for exposure to gold or gold mining equities, then now is a perfect time to sign up for Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. The summer is over, gold is trading back above $1,500, and the 10-year Treasury is hovering at around 1.5%. Tom O'Brien has been writing his weekly gold report for almost 18 years. There's no one that knows more about how the gold market trades and how gold mining equities react. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, Tom publishes his weekly gold report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. As of September 3rd, Gold Report subscribers have 5 active open positions with an average unrealized profit of almost 38% for each position. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up today by visiting TFNN.com. Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks, with Norm Winsky of Astro Trend. Do you want to continue, Norm? And I've got a couple questions if you have time.
Okay, I think we'll make it. Okay, T-bonds, you can see there that right where the green arrow is, that was the moon, and that was the bottom. You know, that was pretty nice. The all-time high, by the way, it's not part of this, formal presentation, whatever you call it. Labor Day weekend, we had a big lineup with Neptune and the U.S. moon in the U.S. natal chart. Over the Labor Day weekend, I had that as a major change of trend for your U.S. financials, like your stocks, T-bonds, and dollar, and that turned out to be the top of the bond market. And Larry, you fasten your seatbelt. That's gonna repeat in mid-October. So that should be a big. If that was effective, if that's what turned the bonds, there should be another big one in mid-October. Okay. All right, there we go. So there we go. We got the low there on the bonds. These dates here were not effective, so I got rid of those there. Unfortunately, here's the wheat. Behaved pretty nicely though. Had that date there was about the 18th, 17th, 18th for top there, and we went a little higher the next day, and then down we went. Then it caught the bottom there. That was close to a low. Might have gone a little bit low, maybe a penny or so lower the next day, and then we popped up over here just in the last day or so, and so that would have worked. And here's your dollar. It worked pretty well. It had the low here on the. It has extra days here. You got the 14th. They were traded apparently on the weekend there, and for the dollar index, and they had a low there. And if you waited till Monday's opening, you had a chance. That's like a two-way signal here. If you bought early, you could buy the low, and by the time the Monday came around, you're on the high. And then that made money, and that made money either way, And then we had this guy over here that you had like a one day high there and a pullback next day, so that you had some opportunity to make some money there. Thought I'd throw in the euro because the financials tend to dance to the moon. The currencies tend to dance to the moon, and there's the euro. That worked pretty nice. You were like one day off that high there on the euro. And I think now we're going to talk about what's coming up, Larry.
That's what they're here. That's what they're here for, Norm. They already know how good you are. Tell us what's coming next.
All right. Well, it's not so much about how good I am. It was about we might learn something from these different patterns because they repeat. All right. These cycles repeat. All right. Here we go. We got Uranus going to be 60 degrees of Jupiter on the U.S. chart. That's kind of a moderate change of trend. U.S. stocks, T-bonds, and dollar for today. That's the 26th. after today's night, tomorrow. And then over the weekend, Larry, fasten your seatbelt. We got a new moon in Libra at perigee, but this isn't any just regular supermoon, syzygy, whatever you want to call it. This has got a supercharged syzygy because not only is it the new moon is at perigee, we got other lunar cycles like it. I've heard in the past there's supposed to be they've detected like 29 different lunar cycles. This has got like 3 or 4 lunar cycles all converging over the weekend. You got your latitude hitting, you got your declination hitting. I'm going to call this a mega moon, okay? Mega moon, okay? Anyway, I think this could be big. Maybe you'll have a hurricane or earthquake or some natural disaster occurring. I don't know.
Maybe even a tweet.
Or a tweeter. So that usually shakes up the world, right? There you go. All right, so it's going to be a Libra. We round up the usual suspects like Humphrey Bogart said there in Casablanca. And or that wasn't him. That was the lieutenant, I think, or something. Louis, right? Louis, the lieutenant, or the police guy. Anyways, financials, grains, precious metals, and because it's in Libra, it's the sweetest sign of the zodiac, sugar. And you got your stocks and wheat. Okay, so watch those markets for the moon coming up here this weekend. Then we also have the moon's north node is going to make a 150 to the U.S. MC midheaven. And that's, again, a moderate point for changing the trend for stocks, T-bonds, the U.S. dollar. And then we have, we have Jupiter making a 60 to the U.S. moon also. Again, U.S. stocks, T-bonds, and dollars. So that's what's coming up. The big kahuna, the big guy, is the new moon at perigee, mega moon this weekend, okay?
Okay, Norm, I want you to go slowly and do one thing after another about why this mega moon is so big, starting that it's going to be a new moon, okay? And then go ahead.
Well, that's it. It's going to be for the folks who don't know, the moon has multiple cycles. I've been told there's 29 different lunar cycles. Everybody knows about new moon, full moon. There's also one of probably the next most well-known cycle is apogee and perigee. When the moon goes around the Earth, not in a circle, it's elliptical. And so it's like an egg, the orbit's like egg-shaped, elliptical. And so there's a point where it's close and there's a point where it's far. And that cycle only lines up with the new moon and full moon about every 7 months. And then it's alternated. So to have the complete repeat, it's for every 14 months. It's a half cycle of 7 months. Full cycle is 14 months. Right now, we got the new moon hitting the perigee, the close point. Perigee is close. Apogee is far. If it's an A, it's far. If it's para, it's close, okay? And the G part is Earth, okay? So there you go. I think it's from Latin, And then we have other cycles hitting, too. We got the moon. I'd have to go look at my notes what exactly it is, but I think the moon is hitting its monthly extreme for latitude and for declination and so forth, hitting these other cycles all at the same time this weekend. So that's very rare. I don't remember that ever happening before. Maybe it has, but I don't recall when it last happened. So there we go. You won't find this on the internet or any place. This is my research. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
All righty. You got some questions there, Larry? Or?
Yes. The question is, do we have any major planets getting ready, like Mercury or Venus, ready to do retrograde or direct coming soon?
Next week we got Pluto. Got to turn direct. I think Pluto's got to turn direct. That's right. Right now Pluto's retrograde, and it's going to turn direct. I think the night of the 2nd. I'm doing this from memory now. And I put that's in my October letter, and I don't have that in front of me right now. But I think the night of the 2nd, Pluto. That's if Pluto is known for a planet where, in terms of its effect, Pluto takes no prisoners. So it's when Pluto hits, right?
Is it still a planet, or did they disqualify it a few years ago? I know there's a big argument about it.
They decided it's a planet again after the New Horizon went by Pluto and took pictures. And did you ever notice that you've seen those pictures of Pluto? It looks like it's got a big tattoo on it of Mickey Mouse.
Actually, Norm, you're going to find this hard to believe, but that's not one of the things on my bucket list is to watch Pluto.
Okay.
But anyway.
Pluto got a lot of publicity a couple of years ago when they, they had the flyby there, and they showed pictures of it. And there's like this dark shadow on this Pluto there, and it's like the outline of Mickey Mouse. It's unbelievable.
Well, Mickey Mouse I do like, that's for sure. Norm, we have a question about gold. What's your opinion long-term on gold?
I don't have an opinion long-term on gold. I take everything one step at a time.
Okay, what's your first step, hourly or what?
Yeah, well, we can do. I don't do intraday much, only for the S&P. But we got the moon coming up here, and the gold, the precious metals, seem to dance to the moon.
Now that'll be a good one to watch. Hey, stay with us. Stay with us. We want you to come back and give us a commercial. Everybody would like to hear that.
Okay.
All right. Norm Winski of Astro Trends, Naples, Florida. Keep those cards and letters coming in, folks.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get the competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, the opening call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we're talking with Norm Winski of Astro Trends, Naples, Florida. Norm, you want to tell the folks how they can get in touch with you if they'd like to learn more?
Yes, sir. The first week of every month is usually when I offer my free classes, when I share with people all that I've learned over the past 50 years. I've been doing this, studying the markets for more than 50 years. I was invested in college, used those profits to buy a membership on the fledgling Chicago Board Options Exchange, and I was right out of college. I became a member market maker down there on the floor of the CBOE for 12 years. Also traded on the Chicago Board of Trade. And so I got a little bit of experience. And so I'll share that with you if you want to get a hold of me right away, and we'll get you a free class next week. And there we go. So you can learn, have the day trading class. I have the swing trading class. Show you how we do all this. We can get the swing trading. I teach you how advanced Fibonacci, fractals, GAN, whatever, all kinds of things. How you get them simplified down to a 5th grade level where anybody can understand this stuff. Because if it wasn't at a 5th grade level or lower, I couldn't understand it. So there we go.
The 5th grade was my favorite year in grammar school because I repeated it 4 times. So
there you go.
I have to agree with you there, buddy.
There you go. All right, so there we go. Here's my contact info. And there we go. I'm in sunny Naples, Florida. And when it's not September, it might be sunny. At 239-594-3939. There's my email. You might want to screenshot that. And in Winsky at embarkmail.com with a Q in the middle. And there's my Skype is nwinsky_1. So looking forward to have people call me right away. We'll get you into a class next week, free class next week. And I'll share with you my 50 years of market knowledge.
And how much is the free class, Norm?
Because if they mention Larry, they can get the free with the double your money back guarantee.
Oh, you can't beat that. Hey, listen, buddy, I hope you're hurricane-free this year, and we'll have you on again next time we have the full moon, which will be, my guess, roughly 15 days.
Yeah, something like that.
Hey, Norm, if you ever see something that, like when you talk about this mega stuff coming up, you get in touch with the old cowboy. We'll get you on the show, okay?
All right. I'll be your moon man, Larry.
You got it, brother. See you later.
Oh.
Okay, keep the medication up there, Norm. Keep the medication up.